Hey, black men. I am in awe of you. You are.
So I was tagged in this video, and clearly I'm not a black man. Okay, so I have a thing or two to say about this. And before I do that, I want you all to know I, by no means do I want to criticize, offend, or hate on the creator of this video. But I still want to say what I have to say because we are both white women. And I do believe that sometimes good intentions, need a little seasoning to come out in a good and positive outcome. Because right now, what I am seeing is a good intention and a fucked up outcome, a problematic outcome. And I'm going to explain why that's the case. First of all, this was your reply to me being tagged on your video. And I first of all want to talk about something that you put out yourself. And that's your bio. Mom of 3 amazing black sons, starting a movement to uplift, support all black men. 1, your children and the tokenism of those are never your gateway or your scapegoat to wanting to support a certain thing, movement, opinion, narrative, whatever. I get that you having children that do not live the same living reality as you, or me having children that don't live the same reality as I am, should be an inspiration to do better about the political standpoints and viewpoints that have been shoved down our throats right from time. However, there's a thin line between explaining your motive and tokenizing your children. And this is the latter, in my opinion. This is tokenism. And it is problematic because it makes you look like, if not for these 3 black children you call your own, you would have never gotten the idea, or you would have never done this. Tokenism is not okay because the people in the conversation are not part of the conversation. You're bringing somebody into the conversation that, 1, is not present, secondly, maybe does not even want to be present, and thirdly, should not be present, because your motive of wanting to do better as a white person in a racist society should be basic humanity, not blackness. Because blackness is not the reason for racism, but racism is the reason why blackness is being dehumanized. So your focus should never be on blackness, but on racism and our own whiteness. Let's get to the second part of your bio. Starting a movement to uplift, support all black men. Point 1, black men don't need our uplifting, nor our support. And point 2, which I think is even more important, you're not starting no movement. Let's just be fucking for real. You're not starting a single movement. Because the only person, and I want to be very, very crystal clear here, the only person that can uplift and support the black man is the black woman. End of story. Historically seen, women like you or me, despite our mindset, have been the number 1 enablers of white supremacy and the number 1 enablers of the horrific crimes of white men. That's facts. That's non-debatable. So all this, in a historical context, does not sit well, does not look right, because you are centering the support and uplifting of black skin and black men, but forgetting how your own whiteness and our own whiteness systemically can be the end of that very same black man you are trying to uplift. You are failing to realize that our whiteness in this context should be from an outsiding standpoint of view, never centered. Your whole content, your username centers blackness as a non-black person. You're centering a living reality that is not our own and that we will never fully understand. Meanwhile, what you should be doing is decolonizing your own whiteness and actively addressing white people about our inherited racism, our inherited discrimination, our inherited stereotypes, the dehumanization and the demonization of blackness globally throughout human history, and why whiteness is what it is today. You should not be doing this because that's not your place. I get that there will always be black men that will appreciate you for that. And if they do that, who am I to judge? But from white woman to white woman, this is not okay. It's not okay. You're not starting any movement. What you're doing is and I want to believe the best of you, I'm saying that you're subconsciously doing that, is actively doing what Black women taught you. Because Black women are the ones uplifting Black men, have been the one having Black men's back. And by the way, having white women's back when they have Black children too, but that's a different topic. So you cannot, I cannot, we collectively cannot uplift an ethnicity of people that was demonized and dehumanized for our very existence to flourish. Systemically, we are not able to do that. We don't have the systemic power to do that, because anything and everything you will ever say, you got it from Black people. You didn't find out that shit by yourself. It's the emotional labor of Black people that made you know all these things, which is wonderful. And I do commend you for putting the word out there, but do it in a right manner, without centering yourself and without centering a living reality that we have no idea about. Let's also briefly talk about the aspect of fetishizing. Because addressing Black men and Black men only, when the most hated and underestimated group of people in human history, past, present, and future, most likely, is the Black woman. It's giving fetishization. Because where in this whole context is the Black woman in your mindset? The very same woman that you got that knowledge from. The very same woman that has been doing this work that you want to do. Where is the Black woman in your conversation when it comes to honoring and praising Black people for everything they are? And to the video I staged, the narrative of Black men being inherently strong and resistant and anything you talk about dominance or resistance or strength is inherently racist and problematic. Because Black men have always been labeled hardworking. They have been dehumanized because they are so hardworking. There are entire studies of medical students thinking that Black men are better in sports because they grow muscles differently than white men do. They have more ability to run faster because of other than white men do. There is so much racism in medical history or in medicine generally when it comes to Black people, and it's costing Black people their lives. It is not something that you should be enforcing and enabling and repeating on your profile if you mean well. And again, I really want to believe that you simply do not know that yet. Because tell me, why is the white woman always seen as something that needs to be protected and cared for and is fragile? But on the other hand, the Black woman that is literally the most hated human being on earth is always seen as strong and resilient and powerful, which for some Black women, that might be beautiful. But Black women deserve to be soft. Black men deserve to be soft, deserve to be vulnerable, deserve to be in their weakness. Black people and being inherently strong, especially Black men, is inherently racist and problematic. And I want to emphasize this one more time. I do not mean to hate on you. And your response to everything I said in this video is going to show me exactly who you are. Because if you mean well, if you truly and genuinely mean well, you will sit down, have a moment with yourself, think about your whiteness, the stereotypes and the benefits that come with it, and where it got us and where it came from. And then you have a moment and sit with yourself and think and reflect if this is truly positive, and if you really and truly think that you are in the systemic position to do all that just because you have to have 3 Black children. I want you to sit with yourself and understand that our whiteness has caused more harm than good throughout human history. And now, that's already late though, but now is the time to do better. And this is not doing better. This is buying into stereotypes that were put on Black people and also put on white people. And if you want to be free from certain mindsets and inherited racism, you need to start with yourself and you need to address other white people, because we invented this and it's our it's our responsibility to stop it. Black men have no conversation in that because they never created racism. So if you want Black men to flourish and you don't want them to be victims of racism, then you need to work against racism. Black people don't need our voices, please. They don't need our support. They have each other.